if your Wi-Fi starts to get glitchy for some reason, turn your video off.
Okay.
The less you move and the
How do
less
you-
video you use, the better the bandwidth is.
All right. Now you have a super cute picture of me. So
Yeah, what are you, like 12 in that thing?
I think I was 18. It was a band photo for our band website.
Of course.
That was
All
back
right.
when we were local legends, Greg. Don't hate.
And then we'll go around and kind of introduce everybody. If you are on Twitter, give your Twitter handle, because that'll be the easiest way for people to connect if anybody ever listens to this, which is very unlikely to start with.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Go ahead and say that, Greg. We don't know.
All right, welcome to the very first edition of Man Down Podcast. We're excited to talk soccer. Long term, this is not going to be a Euros podcast, but we want to start that way and get our feet wet. So this is the very first try we're going at this. I am Greg Richards, and I'll sort of host and moderate some of these ridiculous folks chiming in. But in the meantime, why don't you go around and just kind of give your name and maybe a way we can contact you if you have questions or you say something super outlandish that people want to call you on the internet. You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. My name is Josh. I am a freshman. In high school.
Good clarification.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh, freshman. Woo!
Woo. I play soccer a lot. I played academy. I play with the Olympic Development Program. You can contact me on Instagram at jrichmoneyswag.
So embarrassing. It's time to change that name, Josh.
All right, Danny, why don't you go next, big man?
All right. My name is Daniel Kittrell. If you want to follow me, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Daniel_Kittrell, and for both of those. And I didn't play soccer for very long, but I'm a big soccer fan. Been following it since I was 10 or 11. And yeah, pretty much it. I'm really dumb. So here we go.
Who's your team, Danny?
Well, my team is Manchester United and has been since I started playing soccer when I was 5 or 6.
All right, and we let Daniel on, so that gives you a sense that we're gonna let anybody in. So thanks, Danny.
Maybe I just know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I do want to say this up front that there's no real actual requirements for getting onto this podcast.
Other
In
than
terms of,
knowing
you don't have to pass a test or know certain things about soccer. Of the people on the podcast, I probably know the least. So I'm excited that we're doing it because I do like to talk about soccer, but I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. Wes, why don't you introduce yourself real quick?
All right. My name is Wesley Bergeron. I am now a part-time employee at Apple, and I also am working at a church doing small group stuff. Been playing soccer since I was 5. This past year, I was actually a part of my first ever winless club soccer team, and it felt awful.
Good year.
Miserable. Absolutely miserable. And I did it every Monday night, and it was horrible. Still sort of fun. My username on Twitter is Megatron332. And I will not tell you my Premier League soccer team for the sake of what Alex Gavin might say.
All right, Alex. Yourself.
That is me. I'm Alex Gavin, a student at St. Mary's University, accounting student. Stopped playing soccer at the age of 12. I was a bit of a violent one on the soccer field, so I actually got into other football and sat on the bench for an offensive line for some time. And I've multiple-time manager of the year now on FIFA. I've taken Leeds United all the way from the championship to the Premier League and won the treble. So I think it's fair to say I do know a little bit. And I was also able to maneuver Gareth Bale from Real Madrid to Leeds United. And now I'm just working on my current project with bringing Blackburn Rovers back to greatness. And since we're talking about our teams,
just a matter of time.
Actually a Tottenham Hotspur fan. Grew up with my father liking Man United, so that was kind of shoved onto me and my brother. And then Clint Dempsey went to Tottenham, and we both just kind of rebelled on Dad there. But I do hold a little soft spot for United. So, but I'm a Tottenham man all the way.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't say that when I introduced everybody either, but that's who I pull for Tottenham. Josh.
Yeah, I pull for Tottenham also.
So there you go.
Wes pulls for Man City. I'm just outing him right now.
Yeah, Wes, I can't believe you didn't open with that, man.
All right. Sometimes you don't have to mention things. It's been a
You're
long
the
year.
worst Man City fan I've ever met, which is really saying something.
You met like
I mean, the
two-
only thing that works for Man City is they're not even really a football club. They're actually an oil and gas company. So there you go.
Well,
I feel bad that I didn't make it to the first oil and gas money zinger on Wes.
Somebody was going to get there. And we do have at least one more person who's going to join the podcast at some point in the future, who's an Arsenal fan. So,
Gosh, I can't wait for him to get here.
So anyway, we'll try to get as many representatives as possible, and we have a few other outside guests that we'll bring in on occasion. This first one, I really wanted to make sure we had a chance to figure out how this technology worked. We could make sure we could all get in one place at one time for a little while, and then I wanted to give us a chance to talk about the Euros coming up. We're about a week away from all of that kicking off, right? Do I understand that correctly?
I believe so. I can't think off the top of my head, but I got it pulled up.
Yeah, I think it's next weekend it starts, right?
It's Friday, June 10th, so it's a little ways away.
So we got a couple weeks. All right,
Yeah.
good. So if we change our minds between now and then, we'll be
I
all
think
right.
Copa America starts next week.
Oh, Copa America
That's
starts
right.
next week. That's what it is. Good save. All right. Josh is just going to be here to correct me every time I get something wrong to make sure that it doesn't sound too dumb. All right. So I kind of thought the best way to do this, at least initially, in the fall when we do Premier League stuff, we've got a couple other ideas that we want to try for like recurring segments and stuff. But for now, just to kind of get our feet wet a little bit, let's work through the groups and kind of see what we're all thinking about who's going to advance and what we see happening in the first stages of the Euros. Alex, why don't you kick us off? Who's in Group A, and then and we can kind of chat about that one.
So Group A, we're looking at France, which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's going to be the host. Romania, Switzerland, and Albania. So really, I think we should be looking at a pretty straightforward group. France kind of having one of the more talented squads they've had in a long time. Pretty much at every part of the squad, they're pretty stocked, especially starting in goal. With the Frenchman who's stronger than the Maginot Line, Hugo Lloris. So I see them and Switzerland going through. I can't really see Romania or Albania making much noise in that group at all.
Anybody else want to take up the cause for Romania or Albania?
I think
I don't
Romania
guess.
had a chance to go through on one of those third spots, but it's pretty slim with some of the other people who might be finishing in third place in the other groups. So, I mean, I could see them being kind of like a dark horse, but not really.
Who's the best player on Romania?
Oh, man. I'm blanking on the top of my head.
Who does he play for?
That's a great question. Let me see here.
We're the best podcast. So
Well-
I do want you to know that I got this all set up and I put in our bio that we're not the best podcast, but we are the newest soccer podcast
There you go. That's
for at
good.
least a little while. So we're living up to that, which is great, guys.
Yeah,
That's
nice
good.
work.
All right, so we're all in agreement. We don't know any Romanian or Albanian players.
True.
Well, Romania's got one guy. He's their center back, Vlad Kirikis.
Ah, he's
Oh,
Romanian.
Let's
yeah,
not talk
yeah.
about him.
That's their best guy.
The former
They're
Tottenham.
not going-
Yeah. Okay.
I think I sold him on FIFA.
Yeah, he's a former Tottenham player. He's not. They're not going through. That guy's gonna get a red card in the first game.
So the reality of their group is that the downside, they've only scored 11 goals. Upside,
Romania?
yeah, and then qualifying, only scored 11 goals. Upside is their defense is pretty stout. So if they keep it to 0-0, you could be looking at some issues. But they're not.
A couple of draws, they might sneak through. I don't know. I'm not buying it. All right. So France and Switzerland. Who do you think wins it? Alex, you have France, right?
I've got France likely to win that group, and
Danny, who you got?
Switzerland's not going to be a half-bad team, so I see them coming second.
I definitely see France. I can see France winning every game in this group. Honestly, they may pull a draw with Switzerland, but I think it's gonna be France all the way.
All right. Wes, any disagreement on that?
Yeah, no qualms. It's going to be France.
Oh man, you guys, this is too
Yeah.
easy, Josh.
I'd pick France.
All right, I got France too, just because I know a couple of players on France. I maybe only know like one guy on Switzerland. So, all right, Group B. This one's a little more fun, I think. Danny, who's in Group B? Walk us through it.
Group B is England, Russia, Slovakia, and Wales. And I personally think, I don't know if England's going to do anything in this group. I could see them once again pulling a third spot because 4 of those third place teams do move on. But I don't know. I think I could see Wales winning this group and seeing Russia finish second. Honestly.
All right. What do you think about that, Wes?
I really can't seem to disagree with what he's saying, but it's just I feel like if there's any year for England to do it, it's got to be this year. They've got to put together everything. I think my issue is where the heck is Wayne Rooney gonna play? Is he gonna play? Is he gonna be on the field?
He's not even gonna play, right, Danny?
I don't know about that. I think if he does play, they may put him in a. They're either going to put him in the hole in the 10 spot. That's his best role. It still is. He's not the fastest, but he's a great passer and he's a good finisher. Horrible first touch, but he can still do a great job there, and he pulls for his team. Or I could very well see him playing. If they're not playing with wingers, which they have done in the past with a couple of center attacking midfielders, he could play on the left side. He wouldn't be as effective there, but I could see him playing on the left side of an attacking midfield 3.
Yeah.
Alex, what say you?
I actually see Wayne Rooney busy fighting alongside the X-Men.
That was a great ad.
He seemed a little more busy with the commercial, but as much as I've always loved Rooney, I'm not really sure if I see him cracking into the squad much. Just because really you should be picking your teams based on form, and Kane is without a doubt going to be the hottest guy to be playing at striker, and even if it's not him, it's pretty hard to argue against Jamie Vardy, as much as I don't like him. But I don't see him cracking in much unless he maybe drops in at that number 10. But even then, I don't see why he wouldn't be going with a Ross Barkley or someone who's just got a little more of an upside.
Yeah, I will say, just if I can interject real fast too, with Kane and Vardy, I could very well see them playing in a very classic English 4-4-2.
Yeah.
And Wayne playing in kind of the 8th spot, tied in with Barkley, or Henderson. I can't remember if he's in the squad or not.
But for some reason, yes, he is.
Yeah, he's terrible, but I think he's kind of an awkward mainstay of the England squad right now, and I could see Henderson putting in more of a box-to-box and Wayne Rooney kind of pushing up and kind of almost playing in the 10 spot behind them, and then on defense dropping back into a flat 4-4-2.
But then none of you guys have Ali in that lineup. You got to play Ali.
You can.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I see more of a 4-2-3-1, just kind of what he's been going with a lot recently and what seems to be just a popular formation just in general in the world. And I would probably see Dele Alli playing in that number 10 the way things are going right now with just going off of what he seemed to hold to in the friendlies with Dyer and Henderson sitting in those holding positions, and then some mashup of Dele Alli, Danny Welbeck, James Milner.
It seems like they have a ton of options. Josh, do you think England gets through this group?
Yes, either second or third. I think Wales wins the group. I could see Russia making a run, but I don't think they'll catch Wales. I think England will barely scrape through.
All right, so everybody else, you guys have weighed in a little bit on this. I don't care about formations or whatever else. Why do we think any of those other teams are going to beat England?
Why?
Game.
Why? I think England they are really good at playing in their games leading up to competitions and qualifying. But then once the big day comes, they're pretty good at choking or not showing.
So this is just a historical argument.
I really think that. I think in my opinion, just the people that they select too. They select a lot of these utility players that can play in a lot of different roles. But there's so many players that I feel like are jack of all trades, and maybe not necessarily maybe a master of none
Let's
kind of
do
situation.
this game by game, just because I'm really fascinated by this. England and Slovakia. There's no way Slovakia beats England, right?
I disagree. I think Slovakia could beat England. They've got Marek Hamšík from Napoli. He plays in that 10 spot. I'm trying to remember. There's a striker that I know relatively well, and of course I'm joking on it because I don't remember his name. That's really unhelpful at this time when I'm trying to
Hashtag
defend my
research,
opinion.
Danny.
I know, but I see, because I just feel like that could be a draw or a win. Like for Slovakia, I don't know.
Here's what it comes down to. You guys have watched a lot of soccer in your life, and you've been burned a lot by England.
Oh yeah. Well,
I have not been burned by England. I'm taking England to win the group, no problems. They're gonna skate in this thing. So
Come on, you Spurs.
yeah, there's just too many Spurs players. There's no way they lose this group. That's my take.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. All right.
I mean, the historical argument is fairly valid, but I just think with England, we're looking at an extremely young squad that's going to be really hungry, and I feel like when you get young squads, you might just have a squad that doesn't care about what happened historically.
That's what I kind of believe that too. But I also there's some question marks about where they're going to play certain players and especially guys like Rooney that have clout and have played a lot. Like, what are you going to do with them exactly and all that? That could definitely trip them up. But I don't know. Wales is a fun story, right? Are they any good though?
Oh yeah.
I think they're. Sorry, go ahead.
Bale's been playing really well recently. I think he's gonna pretty much carry this team.
Yeah.
Wes?
I mean, Wales is. I mean, they went 6-3-1 in qualifying, so they finished behind Belgium, but they were above Bosnia Herzegovina. I mean,
I was above Bosnia, so keep going.
okay. So you're looking at a very like hungry team that has nothing to lose in this group. But also, I mean, back to the idea with Slovakia. I mean, they're just a counterattacking team. That's what they were in the World Cup. They were just a counterattacking team. So I mean, they're not gonna beat you with like a stellar offense in the final third. But you make one mistake, it's game over. So, and I think a team like England's that kind of team that's like they make one too many mistakes in the final third. It's just.
But they got your goalie in net, right?
Yeah, that's the problem.
All right. What about Russia? Russia's done well in this before, right?
Oh yeah, Russia's like big on heart, but like low on talent. So like.
That's my entire life.
So if you're looking for like a reverse Rocky IV, then look at this team, basically.
All right. So, but one of those, like, we sort of assume probably England, Russia, and Wales come out of that group with the debate you guys are having about England. But we think 3 of these 4 teams go on.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I would say that. Yeah.
Hey, who can explain real quick how they decide which third-place teams go on?
Most points, and then I'm pretty sure it's treated the same way as a group, points, and then down to goal differential.
Because wouldn't being in a stronger group hurt them then?
Yeah.
Potentially, but that's what the draw. That's just the bad luck of the draw, I guess. At least.
No, but my point is, if we're gonna say if we think 3 of these 4 teams are gonna go through, but all 4 of them are gonna be competitive, it would make more sense to pick a third-place team from like Albania or Romania or something like that, where one of the 4 teams is just not any good, right?
So bad, I see Romania and Albania getting like slapped around that group and being lucky to come out with a point or 2.
Well, Albania, yeah, they're not getting anything. Romania, I think Romania's issue is just going to be scoring. Like, they won't give up much. They'll probably lose 1-0, 2-0, but they won't lose like Albania like 5-1 or something.
Yeah,
all right.
I mean, even if they're losing 1-0, that's no points being picked up.
Okay, so go on record now. Here's your chance. I want to know your top 2 out of Group B. Danny, you can go first.
Top 2 out of Group B. I think it's going to be. Did I already say this? Wales,
I don't think you did. I don't think I got you like officially on record yet.
Okay, well, I think Wales is going to finish top for sure, and I think it's going to be Russia could very well finish second for me, but England could pull it off, but I'm just not feeling confident for them. I mean, this could be their year, but at the same time, this could definitely not be their year. So I think it's going to be Wales and Russia. I think it's going to be Wales and Russia at 1 and 2.
All right, Wales, Russia, 1 and 2. Alex, who do you got?
I'm going to start with number 2. I'm going to say probably Wales. Great team, good bit of talent, and by a good bit of talent, I mean Gareth Bale. But I mean, solid group of guys around them. I see them coming second. And then Maurizio Pochettino is going to sneak into the England team and coach them just like he did Tottenham. And he is going to bring them to the top of the group. But in all seriousness, I don't see England just having a whole lot of problems with this group. That's not to say, I mean, it's a wild card what happens when they get to the knockouts, but I don't see them having problems with this group, especially after how they've been performing in the friendlies to see what they were able to pull off against Germany with kind of their top choice squad. So I'm feeling good for them this time around.
Wes, who do you got?
Man, I'm going to go with England 1. I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to respect them. I'm going to give Wales the second spot. I think Aaron Ramsey somehow finds a way to actually be a decent soccer player and not give the ball up. So I think he pulls it off. I'm actually going to rescind and not say that Russia or Slovakia get out of this group. The third place is going somewhere else.
All right, fair enough. Josh, who you got?
I'm going to take Wales as the number 1, and I think England is just going to barely clinch the number 2, maybe by a point or a goal differential.
All right, I'll take the British Isles as well. I'll go England and Wales. All right, Group C. Wes, walk us through this group.
Ooh, this one's going to be fun. You got Germany, Poland, Ukraine, and Northern Ireland. This would be fun. Northern Ireland, fun fact, they actually have done fairly well in their last 11 international matches, but that's about all you get about them because they're going to get trounced in every game probably. I think this one's just going to be a tune-up for Germany for probably like 2 games. I think Poland's going to give them probably a fight for like 70 minutes, and then Joachim Low, also known as the bad guy from Die Hard, will decide to put on his actual 11, and Thomas Mueller will probably score most goals in Euro.
All right, Wes, turn off your video for a little while, would you?
Yeah.
Just see if it helps with your sound. There we go. All right, so you've got Germany coming out of there easy.
Yeah.
Danny, what do you got?
I think, just in the sense of standings, I think Germany's going to go 1, Poland's going 2, and I think it's kind of a toss-up for me. I agree. I think Northern Ireland's going to have a couple of games where they are going to get slapped around, but I could see them finishing 3rd. I don't know if they'd go on into the next couple of rounds, but I think they'll put up a little bit of a fight. It's going to be mostly just hold on, and then smash and grab at the end or something like that for them. But it's going to be Germany 1, Poland 2.
I hate to do this because it makes for bad podcasting, but I totally agree with Danny on this one. I'm with you 100%, Danny. Alex, what do you got?
I will start off with disagreement. Joachim Low is not the bad guy from Die Hard. That is Jurgen Klinsmann. He is definitely Hans Gruber's brother Simon, like all the way.
Okay, that's good.
But as far as Group C, I see it pretty straightforward. Ukraine, Northern Ireland, both really cute. Don't really see them making it out of here. Again, Northern Ireland would be I could see them being the very kind of pack in and then hope for a set piece kind of Hail Mary and grab a header a la West Bromwich Albion. But as far as the group winners, I see it pretty easily being Germany and Poland because Robert Lewandowski is going to score like 800 goals.
Josh, who do you got?
I have Germany number 1 and Poland number 2. I think Ukraine might make a run and get a number 3, though.
All right. Sneaky number 3 pick. All right. Josh, walk us through Group D.
Okay, in Group D we have Spain, the Czech Republic, Turkey, and Croatia.
All right, what do you got?
I think Spain will do really well in this. Croatia will probably make a good run. I don't think Turkey's really going to do anything, and I could see Czech Republic maybe winning a game, but I don't think they'll really do anything either.
Wes, what do you think about that?
Yeah, so I have a huge problem with Group D here, and that is the fact that Spain doesn't really have a forward, and that's a problem. I think Morata is probably the best bet at goals. I don't think Pedro is going to be the guy to get it. Diego Costa, like, is he going to fight somebody? You have to be kind of curious what's going on there. I just think they're at a place where, even though they've won it 2 years in a row, I think this is kind of this group where they are going to run into some serious kickback, and I think it's going to come from a team like Croatia, who I think could win the group. And I think a team like Turkey is actually really underrated in what they can do. So I really kind of see Spain still getting out, but I see Turkey maybe getting that third spot and giving Spain a little bit of a fit in their match.
Wes, who's the best player on Croatia?
On Croatia, I think right now going into it, it's going to either be Mandzukic or it's going to be Luka Modric. Honestly, Modric has actually been healthy, so I think that kind of plays into his hands for a better Euro schedule.
Hey, that's the first time I've asked somebody who the best player on a national team is, and you guys had an answer. That's pretty good. So we're rounding into form finally. We're only 4 groups in, but now we're starting to get it. Alex, who do you got, man?
I'm gonna go with the same thing. Actually, see Croatia winning this group. Just provided that creative midfield. You've got Rakitic. You've got what happened to his name just now?
Modric.
Modric. And then Mandzukic. I don't see them having a lot of problems with this group. Spain, I just don't really feel it. They just haven't seemed to be clicking. And let's just face it, the team they have now is not as great as that team that was like half Barca, half Real Madrid that made that run from 2008 to 2012. And I see them scraping out in second place, but not going much further than that. But having said that, I think it's pretty smart to maybe keep an eye on Turkey for what they might be able to do. Maybe reach in and grab that second place, and if not that, then I see them going through as a pretty solid third place team.
Hey, who's the best player on the Czech Republic?
As far as the Czech Republic goes, I'm gonna say I don't know, because who knows anyone from Czech Republic?
Petr Cech, does he still play?
Yep.
I don't know, but his name is the name of the country, so I feel like that's something.
No, Petr Cech is a very real player.
I know they're spelled different, but they're said the same way by me.
I know he's a real player. I just didn't know if he was still playing internationally. I'm fully aware that he's still playing. Fully aware.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Czech's still going to be their goalie going into the Euros. The most unknown star on their team is a guy from Sparta Prague, who's their left winger, Ladislav Krejci, who played for Chelsea for a little bit. And he also was the guy who gave a certain defender on Spain some fits in Champions League a while back. So, who knows?
Could be interesting. Danny, who do you got?
Personally, I definitely agree with Alex here. I'm not sure what Spain's going to do here. First of all, they didn't bring Juan Mata, who is the best player in the Premier. Juan. And I think
out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, once again, I agree with that statement of who's going to be their forward, who's going to be their number 9. So I don't know. I mean, bringing David Villa with them, with the form he's in for the MLS, would have been better than some of the other selections they made. But I think it's going to be Croatia top, and I think it's going to be Spain and Turkey duking it out for second place. I could see Turkey pulling that off. They are a definitely underrated team, and I think they play well together. Arda Turan plays for them. They've got Changalu, who plays in the Bundesliga. I'm pretty sure he's Turkish. and I'm blanking on another guy too. I think doesn't Nuri Sahin play for them too as well? He's been injured more recently, but
Yeah, he does.
so I could see Turkey pulling a second spot out of this one.
Wow. All right. Man, you guys. Oh boy. I'm gonna go with chalk on this one. I think I'm gonna take Spain and Croatia, and then let the other two figure it out. I think the third place team will advance though from this group is my guess, but we shall see soon enough. All right, Group E. This is a brutal group. Belgium, Italy, Ireland, and Sweden. This one seems nasty to me. I don't know what you guys think about that. I didn't do any like group of death kind of stuff or whatever, but this one seems like any of these guys on any given day are good enough to beat the other ones. I like Belgium a lot. I don't know that they can win the whole thing because I don't know how that works exactly, but I think they win the group. And I guess I'll take Sweden to come in second in this group. With the other two, I don't know. I can't split the other ones apart at all. Belgium seems to be the best team in the group, but I don't know after that. What do you think, Danny?
I definitely agree with the group of death. Just looking at this, the only team that is vastly weaker than all the others is Republic of Ireland, but they can still do a job. And there's the luck of the Irish, as the cornball saying always says. So I honestly see Belgium finishing first in this one. And I could see, I think Italy's going to pull it off, but Sweden could very well take second. But I'm going Belgium, Italy, Sweden, Republic of Ireland at the bottom.
Yeah, unlucky for Ireland, right?
Yeah, very unlucky. They could have been in one of these other categories, one of these other groups with Albania, Romania, and they probably would have been great off. But it's just, I don't think it's going to happen for them. Even if they were in Group F instead of Portugal, they would have had a pretty decent chance of going against Austria, Hungary, and Iceland. You know what I mean? I don't see it happening for them at all.
All right, Alex, what say you?
I can go with that. Pretty much. I think that Belgium is going to run away with the group. On paper, they've got more talent than anyone right now in that group, and a lot of those guys are click and perform. The only thing that's going to be an issue with them is probably going to be the injuries. Vincent Kompany gone for the whole thing.
That's not that big a loss, right, Wes?
Yeah, we played without him. Guess what?
I'm glad he's not there. I just like not looking at him. That's going to be good.
I have no problem whatsoever with looking at Megamind, especially when he's sad-napping on the sideline. But Eden Hazard, he's going to be the captain for him from what I've read, and not really sure about that. His form is shaky. You kind of have to wonder about his character at times. And what's interesting is that the back line is going to be pretty slim on true left and right backs. So it's pretty plausible that they're going to be fielding a back line of 4 center backs with Vertonghen and Alderweireld playing as the left and right backs. So that could be interesting. Great players, but they may not have the pace that those natural backs should have. But definitely a lot of attacking firepower and a lot of guys who prove that they know how to score goals and know how to create. I don't see them having problems in the group. They may run into some issues later on, especially now that we look at that past World Cup. There's no pressure on them, and they put on a good showing. Now the pressure is there, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle that.
But that's for later broadcast. That's for the later podcast, Alex.
Which
you
one?
don't have, but right now you don't see them having any problems getting through that.
No, of course not.
All right, Wes, what about you?
Second, by the way.
Who did you have second? Italy?
Italy, but they may be duking it out with Zlatan. I see Zlatan. This might be another group where the third place comes through.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The legend.
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, I think where I'm stuck is I like what Italy's done because all through qualifiers, they went 7-3-0, so they were undefeated in qualifiers. Looked really good. Conte is he's a good manager. The hard part is lack of star quality. So he's going to have to make something up, I think, as far as like having a go-to person. I think I'm all on board with them. I think I want them. I think I can see them winning the group. I think Belgium. I think now that they are starting to like really feel the hype of being like the number one in the world. I think they're number two now, actually, looking at updated rankings. I think they're going to feel a little bit. I think they'll finish second. With Zlatan and Sweden is. I mean, it's like Alex texted me the other day. I mean, they're going to need 11 Zlatans on the field, basically. They're going to have some holes. But something
they could
about
be fine with just one Zlatan. You never know.
something about Ireland, man. Like it's just like they're like the Rudy of this group. Like you just want them to like pull out games in like the 90th minute, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to be the low man on the totem pole all the way through. I think Italy. I do think Italy pulls it out though. I think they pull out that group. I think Buffon turns back the clock for a decade.
Oh boy.
We'll let a great.
All right. That's a bold prediction, Wes. Josh, what do you got?
I have Belgium winning the group. I don't think it's the year for Italy. I think they're not going to make it past group stages. If they do, they'll make it on a third place. But I think Sweden is going to come in second. Zlatan's been playing really good recently.
He plays
Scoring
nobody.
a lot. I think he'll help a lot.
All right, Wes and Josh can fight this one out. This is good. Wes has him winning the group. Josh has him out. I like
He
that.
plays nobody. Can we all admit that Zlatan Ibrahimovic plays nobody in France all year long?
Yeah, but he should be rested.
Yeah.
I hope so.
He should be ready to go.
Last game of the season.
You picked like a 40-year-old striker.
40-year-old goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, it's Italy. It doesn't matter. They're not going to shoot anyway. All right, last group, Group F. We've got Portugal, Iceland, Austria, Hungary. Who wants to take the first shot at this one?
I'll go ahead and take it.
Nice.
I personally know not a lot about these players. I know that David Alaba plays for Austria from Bayern Munich. And as for Hungary, I don't know. And Gylfi Sigurdsson, the former Tottenham Hotspur, plays for Iceland. I think Portugal wins this pretty much by a landslide. They do have a tendency to pull in England every now and then. One thing about Portugal is at least England, they play together, they lose together. Portugal has a habit of playing really, really well and killing people, but then at the same time not showing up and nobody is playing well together. It's like they've never met each other and they never speak the same language. And some people are playing different sports. So,
Is Portugal healthy?
For the most part, I think Cristiano Ronaldo, if he stays healthy, I think he's got a knee issue the past couple months, like on and off. But he Cristiano Ronaldo could win with freaking Portsmouth. You know what I mean? That's like, it doesn't matter who he plays for. He's gonna make stuff happen, and if people can't make it happen for him, he's gonna make it happen for himself. So I think Portugal definitely wins this group. I don't know. I know I said a landslide a few seconds ago, but I think they're definitely gonna win it. I don't know by how much, but I think it's gonna be by at least an arm or a leg. And I don't know who would be coming in second, to be honest with you. On a random guess, I'm going to say Austria second. I think Hungary's going to finish last. But it could very well be Iceland in second and moving on because of a third spot. Because Gylfi Sigurdsson's really good at free kicks. So.
Yeah, that's all I know from this group besides Portugal as well. I'm with you on that one, Danny. My impulse is Iceland because I like Iceland. I like Sigurdsson. They look good when I saw them play a little bit in the preliminary stuff, and you got a guy who can randomly score at any time. I think that's a huge advantage. I don't trust Hungary or Austria, so I'm with you. I think those two will probably go through. I don't know if anybody else will get out of this group. Alex, what do you got?
Yeah, same. I'm going with Portugal there. Pretty obvious reason. They're a decent team. Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, is superhuman. But really, outside of him, when you watch Portugal, they're not that great of a team. They just kind of did a little bit of just kind of rub-off effect from Cristiano Ronaldo. But having said that, I do see them winning their group. Austria's got some great players. They've got David Alaba. He plays as that left back. for Munich, but typically with the national team, you're going to see him kind of move up into a midfield role and do a little more creating. They're going to have Kevin Wimmer at the back. I imagine he's going to be starting. He came off of a pretty good stint with Tottenham, filling in for Vertonghen throughout the injury, where there was not really a noticeable drop-off in center back play there. So I see them being a pretty solid team. I see them taking second. Iceland, I think this is going to be another group where the team that in third comes through, provided that Sigurdsson comes to play and is able to carry that team. And I'm not going to act like I know anything else about Iceland, and I hope that none of you do either. So.
No way.
Where's Bjork from?
Iceland.
There we go. I knew something else about Iceland. That's my whole
geothermal power.
I knew Danny would come through for me on that one. Wes, who do you got?
Socialism or something.
Yeah, I mean, Portugal's got the most quality. Nani has been playing in some far off land, and he's been looking actually really good.
Fenerbahce.
I think they're gonna be fine. I mean, they went through qualifications pretty well. I don't think they're gonna have too many issues. The tricky part is the second place. I mean, I do think Iceland is gonna be that team that could kind of resemble a Costa Rica from the World Cup, where they could just kind of start really making people think twice about playing them, and go in there with nothing to lose and just play their hearts out every game and really show people that they actually have some skill. The hard part is I think Austria, if they're going to have Arnautovic and Alaba and Mark Janko, they're all playing really well. I think that team is kind of be the one that could give Portugal the most issue. But then it's just Ronaldo being Ronaldo. I think him playing in the Champions League game is going to have a little bit of effect because that's against Atletico Madrid, and if they hurt him, that's going to send Portugal's dreams out the crapper real quick. So
if that happens, they may not survive the group, and I think that could be a pretty fair.
Yeah. So I say
fair thing to say.
If they say that Ronaldo's doubtful for game one, I'm going to say Austria wins the group only because Ronaldo will be cast. But I'm going to say Portugal. I'm going to say Portugal 1. I'm going to say Austria 2. I'm going to say Iceland 3, but I think Iceland gets a playoff spot. I think Iceland's just I watched a lot of their playoff games. I mean, one of their qualifiers, they just really ridiculous. They're also bringing back a 37-year-old named Eidur Gudjohnsen, who played for Barcelona back in the day. And
there you go. You love those old guys, Wes.
Yeah, dude. This guy apparently retired from football in tears after the playoff defeat for the World Cup, and they brought him back. That's my Rudy. Eidur Gudjohnsen is my Rudy.
Oh boy, Josh, did you pick this group already?
No. As much as I hate Portugal and I hate Ronaldo, there's no way they don't win the group just because it's such a bad group. And I think Austria takes the second place. I don't really know anything about any of the other teams. So.
Well, be careful how you talk about Ronaldo with Danny on the line, because
look, I won't cry about it, but I will say, people always compare Messi, Ronaldo. I'll admit Messi's the greatest soccer player of all time, but Ronaldo's the best athletic soccer player of all time. So I think, I will defend Ronaldo all day and all night, but at the same time, I'm not going to, people just hate beauty, man. You know what I mean?
People hate beauty. That's your argument?
They do. They hate it. When you can be one of the greatest players on the planet, comparable to the number one, and at sometimes seem surpassing number one, and be that beautiful of a man, and be that much of a
unlike Messi.
Yeah, and pay taxes and not have to worry about stuff like that. And not only that, but he's a huge humanitarian. He donates so much money to good causes. So he gets a bad rap because he's kind of a pretty boy, but at the same time, he's a good dude all around. So that's me.
There you go, Josh. I told you.
I'm not saying he's a bad person. I hate his playing style. I would not want to play with him at all.
For sure, you wouldn't want one of the fastest dudes who just happens to be good with his right, left, and his head. I get that, though. You wouldn't want one of the best players on your team. Why would you want that?
Josh likes the ball too much. He's never going to get it back if he passes
Yeah.
it all the
All right, so you got LeBron James playing with Michael Jordan over here, and LeBron James is going to hold on to the ball the whole time.
LeBron's a willing passer. I think that's unfair. That's a bad comparison.
He's been willing to pass. He's undefeated in the playoffs right now. You can't get mad at him now.
Oh, I know, but I just still don't like him. He's just a bad dude.
Is this because he vacations with Dwayne Wade?
Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Last chance for any crazy first-round picks here.
I don't think
Anything
there's.
we haven't covered that you guys want to cover tonight? I feel like this has been a good.
I say we
Good
give
time.
a good. I say we just make a random bid of who's gonna win the whole thing. So just off the top of our first conversation and hearing everybody else's opinions.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna pick a winner, and I'm gonna pick a dark horse that could potentially win it. I think my dark horse is gonna be Belgium. I could see them kind of pulling it out and winning the whole thing. It would be kind of a
Your
dog
dark
fight.
horse is the on-paper favorite, right?
I don't think that's in my opinion. I just don't see them as the on-paper favorite.
I know, but then like the odds, right? Like if I was gonna go to Vegas or somewhere and bet on this.
But my odds are not Vegas odds. So,
Fair enough, Danny. Fair enough. All right, so your dark horse is the favorite.
Danny, that's interesting.
So who's your
hey,
favorite?
what can? I honestly think you guys are gonna hate my. I think that in my heart of hearts, watching Portugal win it would be pretty awesome, but I don't see it happening on Ronaldo's shoulders. But I'm gonna go ahead and say, man, that's tough. I think France is gonna win it, honestly.
Oh man. All right. Hold on, Danny. I'm writing this down so I don't forget this later. All right.
All right, go for it.
Not that we don't have a recording to go back and listen to, but there's no way I'm going to listen to all of this to find out who you picked. So
Right.
you've got Belgium as the dark horse, even though they're the tournament favorite.
It's not gonna happen.
Belgium, and then your favorite is France.
Yep.
That's a better dark horse pick than Belgium. All right. Alex, who do you got?
So like I kind of spoke to a couple of you guys before, and I originally thought Belgium was kind of my favorite on paper team to go with, and the more I thought about it, I mentioned all those issues with Belgium earlier, and I'm actually gonna kind of curve that and say France, the other France, the not Belgium France. And I see the hosts as a good favorite. They start in the back with I'd say top 3 to top 5 keeper in the world. Solid defense, solid midfield. You're gonna have Pogba, maybe even Kabay. I'm not sure exactly who's in the squad, but I'm sure he's in there. Anthony Martial coming off of a good season.
Woo!
They've got a lot of talent put together, and they are getting overlooked. And as far as the dark horse, I'm going to go with England, not
Tottenham.
I'm going to go with England here.
Oh, how shameful is that?
Again, I don't see a young team feeling that historical pressure, and I would say England is a good dark horse, provided that Dele Alli doesn't try to bring a steel chair onto the pitch and take a chair shot while the ref isn't looking when he gets Eric Dyer to make the ref look away and just clean someone out with a chair, and then the FIFA come back later and suspend them for the rest of the tournament.
I think we should be safe on that one.
I think that England could do well, just dependent on Dele Alli's violent tendencies.
Wes, who do you got?
Gosh, Alex, that was really detailed.
That was super detailed. Alex has been thinking about this for a while.
Gosh. Dark horse, as far as that goes, I kind of feel like the dark horse, yeah, and everyone's gonna give me some grief over this, but I still do believe that, like, Italy can be a dark horse in this whole thing. Like, I think they can be. Connor's a good manager. Like, at the end of the day, like, at some point in this tournament, managerial tactics will win out over an 11. You see it all the way through the Premier League. You've seen it in La Liga. You see it. It happens.
No, it does. It does happen.
We did see it this year in the
Italy,
Premier
Ireland. We got you.
It just happens. Like, I just don't think it's unlikely. I mean, I would think like also too.
Oh, it's definitely. Well, let's be careful because it's definitely unlikely.
Yeah.
But you can imagine a scenario where it happens.
Yeah. Also, another scenario for another dark horse. I mean, although I give them a lot of crap, I mean, Spain, just because they're gonna bore you to death with their passing, and they're gonna put someone like out cold. Like, they're just gonna bore them to death and just put in a dinky goal on an offside call that they should have been made.
All right.
For a favorite, I mean, honestly, like, I think this is written for France to win. I just think this is the best team they've had in a long time. I mean, Benzema, Pogba.
Ooh, Benzema may not be there actually
Gosh.
with the whole blackmailing.
Pogba or death.
All right. Josh, who do you got?
Just to jump in on that.
For my dark horse, I'm gonna take Wales. I think they're just a fun dark horse pick. And for my winners, I'm gonna take Germany. They won the World Cup, and almost all their team plays for Bayern Munich, who just won the league, and so they'll have a taste of victory going into the tournament. They'll want it. They'll want more of it, and I think they're playing really well right now.
Oh man, I wanted to pick teams that you guys didn't pick, but I don't know if you guys left me anybody that I want to pick.
I left Austria for you.
Oh, thanks, man. That's super helpful.
We left Albania for you.
Well, and I see Zlatan is still sitting out there. He hasn't been picked yet, so that's good. Yeah, I don't know. I thought about this. I'm just gonna put Belgium as the winner. That'll be my favorite slot, even though I know Danny's got him as a dark horse. I'm gonna put them down as the winner. I think they win the whole thing. And if they don't win the whole thing, then I'll take who do I like? Who else do I like? Then I'll take Spain as my dark horse. I kind of like the idea of Spain winning it a third time in a row. I think that's kind of cool, and especially because I think they could do it with nobody looking at them. All right, so I want to try something real quick. If we can do this, we can edit it out if we can't do it very well or not. I want to do a sort of a draft. So you get to draft two teams. So we'll each draft two teams, and then we'll get points for however many points they get, and then we'll see who gets the most points at the end of the tournament. Does that make sense?
Hey, intrigue. Good. I like it.
All right. I think it's pretty simple. All right. So I got to figure out how to randomly figure out the order of the draft, though. So.
Youngest to oldest.
Oh, crap.
Yes.
That doesn't help me.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll snake the draft. So, Josh, you get first pick.
Okay. I'm gonna take France.
You just had Germany as winning the whole thing.
Yeah, but everybody else wants France, so I'm just gonna make it interesting.
Unbelievable.
So,
All
Greg, explain to me how this is different from picking a first team and a dark horse team.
Well, it might be the same, except for your dark horse team in this scenario can't be the favorite because they'll be gone already.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just picking a team. We're picking a team based on the draft. So basically, whoever picks, we can't pick somebody else.
That's right. That's
Gotcha.
the
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
Go ahead.
All
I
right.
don't know who's the next oldest, but
I think it's Alex, which
Yeah.
is why he
I'm
suggested
definitely
youngest
the next
to oldest.
oldest. There's a lot of good stuff on the board right now.
It's literally everybody else.
I mean,
Albania.
like exactly. That's why I'm gonna go with Belgium. Still not really feeling Germany this time around.
All right. This is the one I'm not sure about. Danny, how old are you?
24.
All right. So Wes, he's younger than you, right? All right. So Danny, you're up.
So, what has been picked? I'm sorry, France and Belgium.
So
France
yeah,
and
both
Belgium.
Frances have been picked.
Both Frances have been picked. Okay. I guess if I have to pick from the leftovers, I'm gonna go ahead and take. I'll take Germany on that one, I guess.
You're gonna end up winning the whole thing just because of that crap. All right. Wes, who do you got?
Oh. The Minnesota Timberwolves select. Man, I'm gonna take Portugal. I'm just gonna.
Oh,
Shot in the
Listen,
dark.
it's not a bad pick because you're pretty much guaranteed to get out of the group, right?
No, yeah, I'm just gonna take Portugal. I think the calves of Cristiano Ronaldo will guide me to a pretty safe couple
He's
of
with
wins.
you. He's just mad he didn't get him in the second round.
So, Greg, I think you have 2 picks now if we're snaking this.
Yeah, so I get 2. Oh boy. So I'm going to take Spain and England in no particular order.
Ooh. Greg going guns blazing.
Yeah, I really wanted to take Italy, Wes, just to get them off the board for you, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Bless you, child.
Who do you want, Wes?
Oh man, now that you've done that, is there like a way I can trade compensatory cash for anything?
I don't know. You guys were pretty high on Turkey. They're still available, Wes.
Yeah, I am a little high on turkey, but I like eating turkey, but I won't pick them. I'm gonna take Croatia.
Oh boy.
Solid pick.
About Croatia. They don't have to get the job. They're not gonna be in Portugal. They're not gonna get me everywhere I need to go, but they're gonna do what I need to. They're gonna do what I need to do.
They're going to be your Russell Wilson. They could easily become your Russell Wilson.
Yeah, they're gonna botch the snap and still make a play.
I like Croatia a lot too, but not enough to pick them. Danny, who do you got?
I'll go Wales for my second.
Dang it!
Sneaky pick. Good one. As if I know what we're talking about, but I do like that. I thought it was a good pick. Alex, who do you got?
That's who I've got. Just grown of
Italy's still available.
Oh man, I'm gonna bite the bullet and go with Switzerland here.
There it is.
Mr. Irrelevant.
There you go.
Coming up.
All right, Josh, last pick of the draft.
I'm gonna go Poland.
Wait, Alex, did you really pick Italy?
No, I
nobody
didn't.
took Italy.
Switzerland.
Okay. I was about to say. I was like, wait, what?
Nobody took Italy, Wes. I'm sorry, man.
Okay, can we at least solve one thing though? Like, can we at least talk about who we each think would be the top goal scorer of this whole entire thing when it's all over? Because I think there's a lot of really
I say
good.
we save that for next week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I agree with Danny on that one. Let's say that for next week.
that's fair.
This is a bad podcast. We need to actually spread some of our crap out so that we can at least have something for another show.
That's a
For sure.
very good point. Well, especially because I got the dates screwed up, and we rushed doing this first one. So I thought it was starting next week, but now that it's not starting for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we've got some time to sort of even this thing out.
No one stops you. No one's stopping us from just holding on to this and dropping it later.
Well, that's probably what we will do, but yeah, next time we can talk about goal scorers and best players and all that. So.
And I can actually drop my Twitter in there for all the 0 people that are going to want to follow me.
Yeah, did you not put a Twitter handle in here?
I think I kind of blanked.
Well, all right,
I
Alex,
went straight
you
for
can still do
for
that. Why don't you do that
intro
now?
and left out my Twitter.
All right, anybody got any final thoughts?
We have a quote from the great Louis Van Gaal. I think to end this, it's perfect.
Right.
Friends of the press, I am leaving. Congratulations.
All right, and with that, we're out. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.